Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. I'm one of your TAs for this semester and I'm really excited to work with y'all. Before we jump in and how to succeed in this course, just a little bit about me. I just recently graduated with my bachelor's in athletic training and history from BYU this past April, and I started the MPA program here in the business school this last August. So between school and everything, I've been living in Utah for about the past decade, but I grew up across the US in both the South and the Midwest. Fun fact, I love creating anything from painting to weavings and knitting, woodworking, all that good stuff. So if y'all are working on any fun projects over the semester, please share them on Slack so that we can all motivate and celebrate with one another. Okay, so as I said, I'm really excited to work with y'all and give you some, tricks of the trade. So let's jump right in. There are three main things that are really going to improve your ability to succeed in this course. And they are: one, thoroughly understanding the rubrics and expectations for every assignment; two, implementing the instructor feedback that we give you guys; and then three, having the proper tools and technology to really participate in this online environment. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to walk through the Canvas course so that you can see how to access all of these things. All right. Okay, so this is a student view of what you guys will see as soon as you open up the course page in Canvas. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how to access the rubrics for every assignment. Now, all assignments, if you click over here on the left toolbar on modules, and you scroll down to week 1, here you can see all of the assignments, quizzes, discussions, readings, etc. for each week. So assignments can be accessed as you go through each module, but we're going to just click on the assignments tab here on the left if you want to jump straight to the assignment rather than going through all the reading and stuff. So we're going to scroll down to your first writing assignment, email 1. And here we have the objective, instructions, etc. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find the rubric for this assignment. And you notice 3 criterion and the options of point breakdown within each section of the rubric. So this will be really helpful in just understanding what we're looking for. The rubric will generally always reflect the course content that you've covered so far. So it is important to still check rubrics for later assignments in the semester, rather than just assume that they're just a continuation of earlier assignments, because you will have learned obviously more content and we'll expect you to implement that content in your assignments. So for example, if we compare this rubric to your second email assignment, let's pull that up. Email number 2. Same thing, we have the objective, instructions, and we scroll down, we see that this rubric is a little bit longer. It has some different expectations as far as the content with the 4 A's, which we'll go over in class. So it is really important to make sure that you understand what specifically we're looking for, whether it's with formatting, with content, organization, things like that. In addition, rubrics for discussions and activities can also be found, again, by clicking on it through the module, but we're just going to go straight to the discussions tab here on the left. All right. So if we click on the discussion, whichever one you're working on, here you'll find the prompt for your posts for that week, which this one is watching several videos, but you can also see that in the top right-hand corner of this box, we have 3 ellipses. If we click on that, you have an option to show the rubric. And this is the rubric for all the discussion posts. You see there are expectations for your initial post as well as the response post. If that's confusing, feel free to check out the FAQ handout for discussion posts that has more information on that. So here's a good reminder. It's available for each discussion post, not just one, so you'll always have access to it. Now, as I said, each assignment does have a unique rubric and expectations, so it's always good to be mindful of those. That being said, there is a fair amount of carryover between writing assignments, especially with regards to grammar expectations and other editing things, which you'll come to learn as Zoom editing. It's a pretty frequent expectation. And so it is important to really pay attention to the feedback that you receive from the TAs and the instructor to make sure that you don't miss points for the same thing on multiple assignments. So the next thing that we're going to do is just go over how to access your feedback. And so what I'm going to do is take you to one of my previous courses so that you can see what it looks like when a submission has comments to review. Okay, so there are two main pages that you can go to view feedback. We're going to start with just going to the assignments page. What? Oh, student view. Right. Okay. All right, so here we can look at all the assignments that I submitted for this course. So let's just choose one at random. Let's do this one. One of my first assignments should have plenty of good things to look at. So here, this is just telling me the instructions for the assignment. That's all great. But if we go over here on the right hand, you can see once I've submitted it, these options will show up. And so I'm going to go to submission details here on the right hand side. And this submission details page has three options for you to view feedback once the feedback is available. The first is this gray box here on the right, which you can see comments from a professor or TA on like the general assignment. And you can leave comments there. The second option is to show the rubric. And so here the grader has selected which of the point categories for each section I fell into, and the grader can also leave comments explaining, why points were missed in a certain category. And this is really helpful just to get a clear idea of like what exactly you're missing points for, what sections maybe you need to work on, things like that. Okay, get the idea. It's a little cramped. There is another place to view this rubric breakdown, so I'll show you that in a minute. So the last place that you can view feedback on the submission details page is here in this big white box across from, here's the file I submitted, and then you can see view feedback. So if I click on that, it opens up this little viewing box, which is kind of small. There we go, but I've made it full screen now. Okay, so here you can see kind of like with Google Docs, highlight the highlighted portions are comments, and then here's the comment next to it. They have annotated ones that have been drawn on with more comments. So you can see I had a lot of comments on this one. And so this is just it's a really helpful tool to see specifically like what grammar mistakes you're making, or what sentence we're referring to when we said this wasn't correct or something like that. So this is where direct comments made in the document are available. This is the only place that you'll be able to see them, is this submissions details page. So we have those three options on this page. Another way to view feedback is if we go to the grades tab here on the left-hand toolbar. And then here, we see each assignment, and then we have these icons on the side. This little two dialog box icon, if we click on that, that will show all of the comments for an assignment. Similar to what showed up in the gray box on the previous page is now viewable on this page with this icon of the two dialog boxes. Whether it's professor, peer review, TA, will all show up here. But again, these are the general comments, not like the ones annotated directly on your document. Another thing that you can view from this grades page. So here you see I have comments. That's great. I can also view the rubric on this page as well. And I think that it's a little bit easier to view it from the grades tab than it was from that submission details page, but totally up to you. So here you can see which category I fell in on the point breakdown, as well as whatever comments were made, things like that. So this is really important in understanding, where you're missing points so that you can improve and not miss points for the same things over and over again. All right, and the last thing, let's go back to MCom. The last thing that I want to talk about is just making sure that you have the proper technology to participate in the class. And that information can be found over here in the syllabus. And we have these handy links up at the top that can take you directly to whatever section you're looking for. So if we click on technology needs, this just explains the capabilities that your computer needs in order to participate and turn in all the assignments for this class. So your computer, you need a webcam and microphone in order to participate in team meetings, meetings with the TA, professor, as well as presentations. So access to Zoom and being able to record a video are also very crucial. And then lastly, assignment submissions only accept doc, like Word doc or PDF forms. And so it is your responsibility to make sure that you have access to putting your final product in one of those two formats. If a document gets submitted and the file has been corrupted for whatever reason, and when we go to grade it, we're not able to see it, it is ultimately your responsibility to make sure that the file you submit is ready for us to view and grade. As you're working that out in the beginning, if you have any questions or concerns with that, we're more than happy to work with you and make sure that you have all the tools you need to succeed. So those are the three main tips to succeed and get a great grade in this course. But overall, please just don't feel like scared to reach out to us. We really want to help you, and we really want to, if something's not making sense in our feedback or in one of the rubrics, just let us know, and we're more than happy to work with you, and we're excited to help you learn these skills that'll be really, really useful in your careers.